Hello, my name is Evan Manning, and this is my introduction video for AEP 855. My current position and extra responsibilities as per the Module 1 assignment is 9 through 12 secondary education at Eisenhower High School in Goddard, Kansas. I teach English, communications, and debate, and I am also the head debate coach and the boys tennis coach at Eisenhower. Who has had the most influence on me in my life and why? I would say my wife. She is not only my best friend, but also sort of my guiding principle on all large decisions I have in my life. I live in Wichita. I'm a teacher and have the family that I have all because of her. What was the result of the personality test? And do you agree or disagree, and why? Uh, so I have the results, and I'm not exactly sure that I would consider myself all of those things that it said as per the, I guess, percentiles. But I do think it's overall probably a fair representation. Specifically on the extroversion, it was 78, which is sort of middle of my 5 tiers, which is probably fair. Emotional stability was my highest at 91, and that's probably true. I definitely would consider a strength of mine to be being very even keel, not being too high, not being too low in given situations. Agreeableness was 35, which was by far my lowest. I'm not exactly sure about that, but I do think that there are times in which I don't feel like I should just agree for the sake of doing so, and maybe some of the questions lent themselves that way. Conscientiousness was 87, which I think is it was the second highest, but I'm not sure that is my second highest. But it is fair, I guess. And then lastly was intellect and imagination was 52, which was my second lowest and sort of right in the middle of um, percentile, uh, which was interesting. I think that I definitely lean more to the intellect side than the imagination side. And maybe that was the distinction was high in one and low in the other when they grouped them together, but was interesting. When using that to determine the leadership theories that I closely align with and what is that coinciding effect with the personality test, I was a participative leader, and specifically, the article I pulled up talked about how a participative leader involves uh, engineering ownership amongst follower groups. They feel jointly responsible and a directionality to like a specific alignment or culture, which I think is something that I would strive to do and works hand in hand with the second leadership type, which was path and goal, which was specifically talking about how an employee or a work environment sort of has a goal at the end, and then everyone sort of goes together down that path with that sort of final hoop as the driving force. And that was from House and Mitchell in 74. I thought that that's interesting because that's definitely something that I would want to utilize, but is also sort of interesting in the idea of and the context of education. I don't know if we always have a really targeted specific goal as you would maybe in other types of workplaces. But when those opportunities arise, I do think that that would be sort of my preferred methodology for leadership, is to be able to use those at least in short bursts, to sort of a targeted approach and making sure that everyone feels sort of connected and not disjointed in the culture and the outcomes that we were trying to achieve as a school. I am looking forward to this class and am looking forward to the journey that I have coming up next. So thank you, and I look forward to the rest of the way.